So how are things going out there for you all?
Well, everything's going pretty smooth right now. I'm just trying to get that chemistry right now with everyone. But overall, everything's looking pretty good.
What are your impressions of the young players, Dron and Kenny Thomas?
Oh, they're willing learners. Actually, those two guys are they're pretty good for actually coming in right now and then working hard and basically competing. That's what I like about them. They compete.
How big of a task is it to replace the guys, Jamon, John, Jake?
That's a huge task. But I think with hard work and dedication, those guys they'll be able to do it. It shouldn't be that bad.
Got some junior college guys coming in. Who have you seen there so far?
Well, Khalil came early in the spring, and Keola and those guys came in, and actually those guys are picking it up pretty fast. Yeah, because they're honestly they're fast learners, so that helped them in the long run. But as far as like working hard and stuff, it shouldn't be a problem.
Nearly every time we've talked to Coach, he has mentioned you as a leader. Why do you think that is?
Because to be a good leader, you got to learn how to follow, and I think I've done that for the last couple of years. And what those guys left me last year is one way to be a good leader is, like I said, to be a good follower, and I followed those guys. So now everyone else is looking up to me to lead, and I just got to take over.
Coach Petrino said some of the greatest competitions are going to be on that line. Are you sensing that in the first couple of days?
Yeah, it's always competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's job safe. It's always competition. It's going to be like that because it's the trenches, and that's how you like it.
Do you see, I guess, a certain drive from the younger guys that just got here and see these open spots?
Yeah, they're hungry. That's what I like about them. Everybody's willing to work. Nobody wants to sit back and just be last. Everybody's trying to get up there and try to figure out. Nobody's afraid to ask questions. That's what I like about it.
How big of a test is it going up against that D line with Rankins and Brown and P.O.?
We've been going up against them for. I've been going up against me and Sheldon going against each other for the last 4 years. But it's a pretty hard task because you have to be perfect, and those guys are trying to be perfectionists too. So every day, if you work your technique and he works his technique, it's pretty like head to head most of the time.
What makes Sheldon so good?
The technician can't beat technique. When fatigue sets in, all you have to fall back on is technique. It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you got the technique, everything is going to work out for his favor.
What makes D'Angelo so good?
Same way with Sheldon. He's strong in his technique. Playing that defensive line, you got to have technique. There's really nothing else you can say about that.
You talked about chemistry. What are you doing to, basically get that in a short amount of time?
In a short amount of time? Well, when they first got on campus, we all hung together. We all had meetings and stuff. Like I would call meetings, we would all come together to try to install the offense on our own and like basically go through playbooks. And if someone has a question, everyone has my number, or we would all basically exchange numbers. If you have a question, just ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And then that's what I like about the younger guys. Like they're not afraid to ask questions. If something's wrong, they'll raise their hand and ask, Coach, well, what is this? Or what is this? How do I do this? And like they're active. They're not just gonna sit in there and be quiet.
Coach K had a cookout for the offensive line.
Yeah.
How do you cook for that many big guys?
Hey, we asked him the same thing. But he got it done, and we chowed down. It was good.
How much? Any idea how much was consumed? Burgers? What was it?
For me, myself, probably about 5,000 calories. But, it was a lot. I can't even say, to be honest. It was all 18 of us over there.
18?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he did the grilling?
Yeah, he did the grilling.
Did he really?
Yeah. He threw it down. Coach K can cook on that grill.
What's it like to work for him at practice?
It's basically home style because he's not going to yell at you for doing something that basically he wouldn't get mad at you for messing it up, but he's going to tell you how to do it right. He's really not going to come down there and just yell at you for no reason. For instance, if I mess up on the block, he's going to come, okay, this is what you need to do to get it right. Because you can't sit there and yell if you don't actually know the problem or what's going on. He can help you fix that. That's what I like about him.
And what do you kind of think of, I guess, maybe the notion that people say that maybe the offensive line is the biggest question mark of the team? Do you agree with that? And if you don't, then why don't you agree with that? Or, I mean, what do you think about that as maybe a perception that people have?
Yeah, that's probably a perception that people have because we lost a lot. But we're out here working. And when September 5th comes around, we'll find out.
you think that you kind of provided when you went to the lineup last year?
Energy, because that's just the type of person I am. I come out with energy all the time. I've been doing that since I was a freshman. It's just energy. If you can't have fun with it, then you don't need to be out there.
You mentioned September 5th. How big is that opener for you guys? I mean, obviously a big opponent there.
Yeah, it's a big opponent, but as of right now, we're working about getting better. It's not really, as far as what we can do September 5th, we're working day by day to try to get better as an offense.